the Secretariat. If we want to really look at how we can navigate the landmines in copyright, we can always get, to the Secretariat and have a look at it. As interest back in ACAMC affairs, just like the President mentioned, we achieved relative success in getting member banks to pay their annual dues, even though we still have some banks that are still owing. The treasurer will give a financial report once I'm through now. Productive stakeholder engagement. Following our visit and intense regulatory liaison to Abuja, today, NDIC, for instance, invites ACAMC members for almost every year when they are having their annual conference with the media. And whenever we get the invitation, what we do is to extend the invitation to sent to the attorney engaged, who is imputing his contribution to align it with the provisions of the Companies and Allied Matters Act. The final draft, which is in process, will be made available for a possible referendum at an extraordinary AGM that the new ESCO might call. The attorney has also been saddled with the task of retrieving a certified true copy of the missing ACAMC Certificate of Incorporation at the CAC. The incoming ESCO will ensure that this process is completed. In conclusion, distinguished colleagues and members, despite the COVID-19 setbacks, which took almost a year off our tenure, we are a forward-looking association, and there is this greater height to attain in order to remain relevant and positioned for relevance in the banking sector. Our consistent commitment and responsibility to the association will enable us to actualize these lofty ideals. The future of ACAMC is assured, and we remain optimistic of the opportunities that lie ahead of us with the cooperation of all of us in this room and those who are joining us virtually. Thank you all, and God bless.
Thank you, Rashid. We'll take the report of the Financial Secretary now.
The Treasurer.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for your rapt attention so far. Good afternoon. I'll be giving an account of the financial statement as at December 31st, 2021. The summary of the significant accounting policies adopted is following, and the preparation of the financial statements of the association. The basis of our accounting, the financial statements are prepared in accordance with the historical cost convention. Fixed assets are stated at the cost less accumulated depreciation, and they've been depreciated over assets such as the computer, office equipment, furniture and fitting, the vehicle, and book value. Subscription. Of course, subscription is a major source of income of the association, and the sum of 9.5 million was realized. 5.5 million was for the year under review, that's 2021, and 4 million were from parts of previous years outstanding. There's still a huge outstanding of 34.25 million to member banks as at December 2021. There was a lot of engagement with banks to get those fees paid, and it is our hope that as more members from various banks come on board, we'll be able to leverage our networks to ensure that our partners and our friends pay up. By way of investment, there's a fixed deposit of 18 million at Polaris Bank Limited as at October 31st, 2021, with the bearing returns of 9,986 per month on a monthly basis. Expenditure, this consists of largely salary, administrative costs, consultancy fee, banking-related matter sessions, petty cash, and all other miscellaneous expenses, and they're all kept at bearable level as much as possible. I'd like to use this opportunity to thank all our member banks who have nailed all their subscription to date. And there's going by, without in no specific order, Union Bank, Stanbic. It takes time. All right, so that you can soak it in. Union Bank, Stanbic IBTC, UBA, First Bank, Zenith, EcoBank, Fidelity, the CBN, Access Bank, Wema Bank, FCMB, and Unity Bank. I must say also that there are just a few banks who have just the previous year's outstanding, but we have some that are still like carrying logs of years. We would engage differently. I think we want to encourage positive behavior, so we will engage them through various means, using all the powerful stakeholders that are in this room, and ensure that we can make a difference going forward. By way of our income analysis, it's a sum total of about 24 million. And we have income figures from both NIPR masterclasses and NAME masterclasses, as well as AMCON, which have also flown into expenditure as they were paid out to those bodies. And then the subscription that came in the year under review. For the fixed assets and depreciation, a total brought forward value of 183 million, and a depreciation of 196 million, netting us a value of 786 million. So a full balance sheet we have, so using the total of both of our current assets, both debtors and the incomes that came in, we have a total of 39 million, 39,731,784. And the investments and assets stood at 18,786,969, and bringing us to a total net asset value of 59,681 million. In the bank currently, we have about 5 million as we speak. That is a summary of the financial statement. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we'll take questions now from the floor and comments. Please, we'll try as much as possible to accommodate all questions and comments. So let's restrict questions. Let's go direct to the point. Please introduce yourself and ask your question and go straight to the point. Thank you. Questions, comments? Advice? Concerns? I'd like to also specially recognize a former president of ACAM, Mr. Lanre Alabi. He walked in whilst please, Mr. Alabi, please, sir, come this way, sir. Okay. The ACAM has been in existence since 1996. It has produced a number of presidents and people who have moved on to do other things in the Nigerian economy. And everybody who has been part of ACAM still follows the activities of ACAM and are very, very active. Some are active on the platform. Some are quietly active, given the number of representations that I've received in person directly with regards to the activities of ACAM. And then there are only very few events or activities that were put together that they don't show up, particularly Mr. Yes, Mr. Tunde Olufowora. I'm going to get used to it. Please give him a round of applause. Yes. And then Mr. Lanre Alabi, Mr. Oge Eboigbe, you know, always, shows up for our activity. I don't know if Mr. Oge, was he an ex-president? No, what? Okay.
He was a key. He was a member of ESCO.
Okay. So he was a member of ESCO. And I think that, some of our greats here, have not been properly, introduced or celebrated, I think that as incoming ESCO, you guys should find a way to, celebrate, some of our greats. Okay, I'll give the microphone to Tunde.
Thank you so much, Mr. President and distinguished ESCO members. Good morning, distinguished colleagues. It's nice to see all of you again, and Happy New Year. I thought you would put your hands together for yourself. Don't worry, I'll try to keep my statement very short because several of you are aware that I'm also a minister in the ministry. So when you give a microphone to a pastor, you know that the pastor will minister, but I will try not to minister today. Well, I want to start by commending the outgoing ESCO. They deserve to be commended. And I was listening carefully to the president and the SecGen when they were rolling out some of their achievements. One particularly, which was the resuscitation of the association, because I was privy to the fact that the association almost went into a comatose at a point. I also knew what was responsible because the former president was indisposed and a lot of things happened around that period. But it was a great initiative on their side to have come together and then they resuscitated the association. And all the work they've done, I can also attest to the fact that I'm also a beneficiary. When the SecGen was talking about all the training and the programs that we organize, it's been very beneficial to many of us. I must also commend you for all the efforts you made in reaching out to several executives, past executives in the association, also that we can build a robust body. Now, my advice, because we also have to make some note here, is that some of the things that I would like to see with the next ESCO, a lot of work has been done, is in the area of ACAM getting more involved in policy formulation. ACAM started, this should be like 20, how many years now? 1996, right? 26 years. 6 years. Yeah. So if you have a 26-year-old son and who is still behaving immaturely, then there is a problem. So whichever way you want to look at it, ACAM came to life 26 years ago. 26 years ago, we should be at the forefront of decision making in the banking industry and even in the entire sector. And we are occupying a very strategic position because we know the role of banks in stimulating growth, economic growth. So for that reason, I think that ACAM needs to occupy a more strategic position. We need to begin to position ACAM strategically, particularly in the area of policy. When I say policy formulation, we know those who take decisions in Nigeria. Decision taking is not just about having a meeting with CBN. Do you see it? The National Assembly, those guys, so a lot of time we move away from them. We leave them to decide all sorts of nonsense. Do you see it? They rule over us. They sit down, but we don't engage them. We can engage them in different ways. We can educate them. We can enlighten them. We can organize forum or fora where we can, bring them together and talk about how the affairs of the banking industry should be ruled. So we should not allow them to be the one taking decisions when majority of us have the knowledge. So I want to see an ACAM that will be involved, engaging, people in the National Assembly, even in the presidency. The Minister of Finance, before they come together and bring up the monetary and fiscal policies, we can be of great influence in this. Now, the second part for me is about the image of the banking industry. I don't think I saw so much done by the outgoing ESCO, all right? I know you did a lot of engagement, but we also need to be at the forefront. We need to own it. ACAM needs to own the image of the industry. You need to come together as a body. What we see most of the time from the banking industry are individual efforts. Banks putting a lot of individual effort on their side. You will have crises. Banks will always go through crisis because you are dealing with the most sensitive thing, money. So expect that industry will go through crisis over and over. So it's not going to go away. So that's why we need a very formidable association that can stand in the front, and then defend the banking industry, rebonish the image of the banking industry, champion the cause of the banking industry, is to educate the public. I think that's one critical thing we need to do. We need to educate the members of the public. A lot of times, decisions are taken, policies are rolled out by the banking, by CBN, monetary policies, fiscal policies. We can educate the public, because if they don't understand what is being rolled out, they will interpret it from their own mind. And the interpretation the consumers give, it's from a perception. So they will keep telling you banks are thieves, banks are rogues, they keep collecting our money. Nobody understands most of the reasons why those decisions are taken. You see charges. Why are banks sending charges every day? You need to just go out and ask people to give you an assessment of the banking industry. I'm involved in a sector now. I'm running something on consumer advocacy. I've been working on it for almost 5 years. And this year, we're going to launch that big. And I've spent a lot of money on it, but it's for a purpose. Because I think time has come for us really to educate the consumers and even get the brands as well to be more aware and be more close to the consumers. There's still a large gap between brands and consumers, large gap. And it's so enormous, it's so wide in our environment. See, so ACAM needs to be at that forefront where you can champion causes. And I can tell you, it is until we get to that stage, that's when you begin to earn the kind of respect that you need from the managing directors. You see, and that's another critical sector or people that we need to engage. I don't see why ACAM will have a program. It will be difficult to bring the CEOs of banks together. See, we have to find a way to reach them. We must engage them. They are critical stakeholders, and they must support the agenda of ACAM. So no doubt, I think the next ESCO has a lot of work to do. The reason why I have remained in this association is because we are ready to provide any support in any way you want us to provide it, and we can always count on us that we will provide that support for you. Thank you so much, and once again, well done. God bless you.
Okay, so would our electoral committee members are pressed for time, but please permit us to take just 2 short comments, not more than 2. Mr. Edi Ademosu and Unduneche. Yes, you did. Please go ahead. Just 1 minute. You can speak without the mic. Project, sir. Thank you very much. Mr. Edi Ademosu is also a past president of ACAM. Unduneche, please. Hello? Sorry.
Thank you very much. With due reverence to the protocols already set up, I want to thank you for bringing us here together for this AGM. Just a quick one, and mine is actually an appeal. It's been a long journey, and I want to first commend the executives, those who are resident and those who are in diaspora, to thank you for coming to this point to celebrate what we have done. It's been a long road traveled, like we said. Everybody has acknowledged that. A couple of things we need to celebrate. You know, it's not all about COVID. I know where we are coming from, and I can tell you that you guys have done pretty well, and nobody should tell you differently. I think you should clap for yourselves. Tunde knows that a association like this is like a ministry. You know, nobody pays you anything. People expect you to run around and work very hard. And sometimes the time you require to work, you don't have it. I'm also excited by the fact that we have a lot of, this is probably one of the largest turnouts we've had in a long time. And we have young people who are forward-looking. I hope that this will not be a send forth. That after today, we'll see more of you. Thank you very much for coming. The work is clearly cut out. There's no metaphysics on this job. It's about giving it energy and time. You have all the past, present, and future leaders here to consult. And if you reach out to them, I'm sure they can always help us. So I really want to thank you guys. I want to commend you and then say good luck and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Unduneche. Unduneche, in spite of the challenges, in spite of the busy schedule of most marketing and communications persons, I don't know how he was able to find time to do a research, and it's actually published a book. What's the title again? Employee Marketplace. You know, and he shared excerpts of that book in one of our sessions.
Yeah.
Okay, so we will quickly move on to the elections now. It's my pleasure to hand over the microphone to my first vice president, my able deputy. For some time now, like I said, I left the industry. I moved to oil and gas and left the running of the association in the capable hands of Margaret Thatcher. Please, a round of applause for Ogo. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, everyone, for coming this morning. On behalf of the outgoing EXCO, it is my pleasure and honor to thank everyone for attending our AGM today and subsequently the elections. Thank you to our outgoing EXCO. Let me thank everyone individually. Buki, able financial treasurer, Rashid, able SecGen, Mr. President himself, Bridget, it's been a pleasure. Dayo, who is online, Dayo Aderubo, and Lola Egbo as well, and Matthew Obiasoko, who are not physically present today but online. Thank you all. It was a pleasure serving with you. As we leave, the one appeal that I know on behalf of the outgoing EXCO that I can make is to say that we hope for more active participation in EXCO, especially for our millennials and younger colleagues in the industry. The industry is changing rapidly, becoming more and more dynamic. We need your youthful exuberance, and we need your ideas to be able to move ACAM forward. And I do hope that as the new EXCO, the incoming EXCO takes charge, that we will see more and more participation from our young colleagues. And also, as we renew our constitution, right? Renew our constitution, we hope that you all will show up and ratify that constitution so that we can have a stronger EXCO. Amechi is back. I thought you slipped out. Sorry, I'm Fam. Is Fam here? I didn't see her. Where is she? Hey, Fam. Hey, we have to acknowledge Fam. And Amechi are here. We had a conversation before this started, and I think we all agree that the likes of you, Amechi, Fam is already very much active, but we need to be more engaged with ACAM, because ACAM can be actually really instrumental in moving the industry forward and supporting sort of our regulators and all the different bodies that act within the industry to be more sort of cohesive and supportive of both the banks and even more considerate of our customers in the industry. So thank you, everyone. I wish you all well, and good luck in the next stage, which is the elections, and good luck to everyone going forward, and Happy New Year, Happy 2022. Thank you.
So we would have to we'll vacate for Mr. Shonubi and team. Please, a round of applause for Mr. Shonubi, our INEC, and his members.
we'd like to thank the outgoing president and his team, the past presidents who are with us, the member of the Board of Trustees, Mr. Ogi Eboegbe, and other members of ACAMC. The House has been dissolved, and so it's just our duty to hold the election. We were constituted in December, and we held about 4 meetings that has brought us here. We got a nomination for the 9 positions, so I would like to say that in line with the association's constitution, we are going to conduct this election. Permit me to introduce the members of this team. We have Dr. Abdulmumin Isa. He is based in Abuja. He is not able to join us, head of PR unit of the Central Bank of Nigeria. We also have Dr. Mrs. Yinka Daramola, ex-treasurer of ACAMC. Then Mrs. Omobolanle Victor Lanion, head sustainability Access Bank. And I'm Egun Shonubi, who is also serving on the team. So please sit down. From the completed application forms we have, which we had also publicized on the platform, we have 1 nomination each for 9 positions, and we believe that the new executive will fill the ex officio. But in line with the BB Global Standard, we'd just like to hear from 2 of the key positions, just 2 minutes, then we'll hold what we said, the election. The Secretary General will just, talk to us for 2 minutes, and the applicant for Secretary General position and the applicant for President's position will talk to us for 3 minutes, at least so we can hear them. Thank you. So I'd like to invite Mr. Shikpe Babajide to just talk to us about 3 minutes for what he will do. Then we'll call the applicant for the President, so that we don't waste your time. Please.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and dear colleagues of ACAMC. Thank you very much for the opportunity. And I present myself as a candidate for, I present myself as a candidate for the Secretary General. I think that, I got to know about ACAMC about 12, 13 years ago when I joined GT Bank, and I worked with Lola when Lola was the president of ACAMC. That's Lola Odedino. And during that period, I was very active in the activities of ACAMC because basically I was seconded to work on the activities in terms of the programs, the activities, some of the events, some of the initiatives that came up on board as at that time. Also, presenting myself now, I've seen what we've done over the years, but I think that we can do more. I think that we can collaborate better. I think we can also have better engagement amongst ourselves. It's important for us to be able to raise the profile of ACAMC and also find a way to ensure that we're able to partner with both regulatory bodies, partner with other associations to ensure that we're able to move ACAMC forward. There are many associations that are formed these days, but we realize that some are more significant than others. But we want ACAMC because the banking industry, the financial industry is critical to any economy in Nigeria. So we want ACAMC to be at the forefront of everything that is happening in Nigeria, taking critical decisions and ensuring that the profile of individuals in this association is boosted. All right? You want to feel proud to be a member of ACAMC. You want to feel proud to be associated with this institution. We want to be able to create initiatives that will make our staff, people that are associated with us, to feel like there's something that they are benefiting. Already we know that we do the institutions that we get our members to be a part of, NIPR, APCON, and the rest. But I think we should go further than that. All right? How can we make sure that setting policies within the government is actually instituted? How can we make some key donations that are critical to the economy? How can we ensure that we can start to do critical CSR, all right, that are important to the communities around us? How can we make the banking industry not be fighting or competing against each other, but collaborating to ensure that we move the association and the banking industry forward? So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ma. It's my pleasure to be here this morning to seek your support for the position of president. I followed ACAMC from 1996. That's the year I graduated, even as a journalist from outside. So ACAMC is very well known to me. So when I got into the banking industry, it just became part of my rule or philosophy to be part of the group. And I believe strongly when the opportunity came and we were asked to come on board, you know, to be a member of the ESCO, I realized that we could do more. But prior to even becoming an ESCO member, almost there's no event of ICAM that you won't see me there. For me, I believe that service is very, very key. And if you look at my the program that I dropped on the general platform yesterday, I believe if we can do more in the area of partnership, we can do more in the area of advocacy. So much has been said. How can we take the mandate, reputation management of the banking sector? We have the skills in-house. How can we utilize those skills, internal skills, to ensure that we get the best for the organization? Learning, we all know what we have been able to do as an ESCO for the professional bodies, getting our colleagues to get registered with professional bodies. We believe we could do more. And for me, service is in it, and I would like to seek the support, and that will drive more engagement and going forward. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Because our time is fast spent, we'll just quickly run through this procedure. And so we want to start from the social secretary. I'd like to affirm that all the forms were duly completed. And you also know that we have one person each for each position. And we know what that means. But yeah, I mean, so that we all can see, and those online, I would like to say that we need to affirm for each position here publicly. And that's what I would like to request of members so that we can move on with this process. We have Utulu Ozena of Heritage Bank, who had completed the nomination form for social secretary. Is she around or he? Okay. Can you please stand up for recognition? Okay. Come forward so that people can see you. Can we please clap for her as she comes? And the faster we clap, the faster she arrives here. Thank you. Please meet the candidate for the social secretary of ACAMC. Oh, all right. All right. Can we quickly then affirm, please don't go yet, please. Can we quickly then affirm for the position of the social secretary, if we want Mrs. Utulu Ozena, please can we raise up our hands quickly? Quickly. Both. You can use both. Okay. No, we should just do affirmation. Okay. They do. Like to say that she's been affirmed and been elected unopposed as the social secretary of ACAM. We also like to request Mr. Abdul Moyo of Access Bank PLC okay, is here present? Okay, so there are two ways we can do this affirmation. This is either we do yes or no, or we count. And some people are saying counting will take time, so we just do yes or no since they are unopposed. So if we want Mr. Abdul Moyo as our publicity secretary, can we just say yes? Resounding yes. If we don't want Mr. Abdul Moyo, can we say no? Okay, so a resounding yes, have it. Already affirmed. Can we also have Mrs. Funmilayo Falola of Wema Bank PLC, the candidate for the position of the treasurer? Thank you. I also like to say that Madam had duly completed the application form, so what we just do here is affirmation. Mrs. Falola is here, wants to be our treasurer. If we want her, can we say resounding yes? And if we don't want her, can we say no? The ayes have it. So she's been affirmed. And we quickly move to the position of the financial secretary, Mr. Patrick Oshilaja of Fidelity Bank. He has also duly completed the form. Okay, you want to remove the face. He has also duly completed the form. And so we'll go to affirmation. If we want Mr. Patrick Oshilaja as our financial secretary, can we have a resounding yes?
Any objection, please? Any no? Nobody. Okay. So the next we have Mr. Omede Odekina of UBA as the Assistant General Secretary. His form is duly signed. And as we agreed in the House, yes, no. Any no? So we have Mr. Omede Odekina as the Assistant General Secretary. Next to him is Mr. Shikpe Babajide of EcoBank. He had the privilege of talking to members for more than the time allocated. So do we have, having certified that his forms were duly signed, can you please remove your mask so that members can see you and be able to identify you, even without the mask? Any yes for Mr. Shikpe Babajide? Yes. Oh, you didn't even allow me to finish. So you're welcome on board. Well, the person for the second vice president is unavoidably absent physically, but virtually she's with us. She's online. We have been able to certify that because members of the Electoral Committee also joined online, so that you know that we are doing what we're supposed to do. She is Mrs. Lola Egbo of FCMB. Sorry? She's online. She's watching. Yes. No, she's unavoidably absent. She had given her excuse, except you want the whole house. But she's online, and she's, right from the beginning, she's seeing you and I and hearing us. So, members, she's going to be your second vice president, also in active capacity. When the president is not available, or the vice president, the first vice is not available, she's supposed to hold the reign. So, having signed the form, and we accept the fact that she's with us, do we, as members, accept Mrs. Lola Egbo as the second vice president? Yeah. Any no? So we hereby affirm that Mrs. Lola Egbo as the second vice president. The person for the first vice president, Mr. Jose Kalu from First Bank. Members, very much. So can you please allow yourself to be seen? Mr. Jose Kalu is standing in front of you as the first vice president candidate for this next team. His forms were duly signed. So we are hereby trying to affirm his candidature. Ladies and gentlemen, any yes for Mr. Jose Kalu? With the resounding yes, for me to say no, to ask if there's any no, it will be a rhetoric. So, Mr. Jose Kalu, can you please join the team? I belong to another platform where we call whoever is vying for the president as Irumole, the big masquerade. So, the big masquerade position, that's the presidency. We have Mr. Rashid Bolarinwa of Polaris Bank. He was given the opportunity to speak with us, and he made it very brief. He has signed, his forms are duly signed. I'm not campaigning for him, but I can see that this team, you are all blessed. You have members. As he came out, the A's, but that notwithstanding, please take a second look at him. To affirm Mr. Rashid Bolarinwa from Polaris Bank as the next president of ACAMC. Do we have yes from members? Any dissenting voice, please? So, ladies, gentlemen, welcome. Have a look at your new ESCO members.
So what we'll do next is the inauguration. We have him swear in the members of the executive after he would have been, sworn in. So we'd like to, the secretariat is bringing the form, to be done. We'd like to invite Mr. Ogie Egboegbe to do us this honor of swearing in the immediate past president or the outgone president and Mr. Egboegbe to come and do this. After the new president will then swear in his people. Okay. Yes, we had nobody completing the nomination form for ex officio. No, it's not. The constitution. Okay, go ahead. Except we have several constitutions, we only have the one the president referred to. We only have two. That's the immediate past president and CIBN. The one that you are quoting has not been ratified, except the AGM wants to do that now. AGM, no, but when the new president takes over, you can then do it. We may have several. The one we are working with, it just has the two. But thank you for the point of order, sir. Is that it? Okay. So, thank you.
Go ahead.
Okay.
And then I see. Thank you. I think the point has been made. Thank you, Mr. Osu. That's, when we have people like Eddie and Lanre in the house, that's legacy, knowledge, powerful legacy knowledge you have in the House. Okay, so we'll go ahead now to swearing the new president. Rashid, please come. No, you have to be very humble. Okay, so you repeat after me. I do hereby solemnly declare and affirm
Do hereby solemnly declare and affirm
that I shall uphold, protect, preserve the Association of Corporate Affairs Managers of Banks, ACAMC codes, policies, rules, and guidelines.
preserve and support the Association of Corporate Affairs Managers of Banks, ACAM's codes, policies, rules, and guidelines.
That I shall bear true allegiance
That I shall bear true allegiance
to the Association of Corporate Affairs Managers of Banks,
to,
ACAM.
to the Association of Corporate Affairs Managers of Banks, ACAM.
That I shall honestly and faithfully discharge the duties of the office of
That I shall honestly and faithfully discharge the duties of the office of the President
in accordance with the Institute's operative law,
in accordance with the Institute's operative law,
codes,
codes, rules, regulations, policies and guidelines
in force as may be amended from time to time.
That I make this declaration
That
affirmation freely
that I make this declaration affirmation freely
and willingly without any reservation
and willingly without any reservation
and or external influence.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Ladies and gentlemen, your president, please receive him. The president will now swear in all the other members of the new ESCO.
So in unison, we will go in one voice. I do hereby solemnly declare and affirm that I shall uphold, protect, preserve, and support the Association of Corporate Affairs Managers of Banks, codes, policies, rules, and guidelines. That I shall bear true allegiance to the Association of Corporate Affairs Managers of Banks. That I shall honestly and faithfully discharge the duties of the office of, in accordance with ACAM's operative law, codes, rules, regulations, policies, and guidelines in force as may be amended from time to time. That I make this declaration affirmation freely and willingly without any reservation and or external influence. So help me God. Thank you, sirs. Thank you, sirs. We appreciate you. Thank you. Come downstairs. Okay, the item on the agenda. Oh yeah, please, let's be seated, please. Thank you so much. The next item on the agenda is the acceptance remarks by the new president. As is said in the Christendom, that today is the day the Lord has made, and we shall rejoice in it. We really appreciate this opportunity given to us by the General House to pilot the affairs of this association. And if there's only one word that we can express, is that we will give our best as an ESCO, and we are going to serve faithfully and diligently. What we will require from all of us is the cooperation of both seniors and juniors within the sector. We can't do it alone. This is the time for us to come together and run ACAM. The joy of having a viral and prosperous ACAM will be the joy of every member. I beseech all of us that we should participate more in the affairs of the association, so that at the end of the day, we will have a cause to. We could see how our past presidents, since 1996, there's no time we have an event that they don't turn up. It says a lot. Once you are a member of ACAM, you are an ACAM for life. And there are a whole lot of benefits that we stand to gain. Some of the questions that people put on the platform was that, what value does ACAM, add to them? What we need to do is that we shouldn't wait until 24 hours to election before we show interest. This tenure of this administration is 2 years. Within that 2 years, we are going to call on you at every point in time, whether to be a member of a committee or otherwise. Let us make ourselves available to serve. Ultimately, if we have a viral ACAM, it will be to the glory of all of us. That is the little or the much that I can say at this moment. Thank you so much, and God bless you for the opportunity. Thank you. Where's our photographer? Can we have a good photograph, all of us standing? Then, so there will now be a vote of thanks by the first vice president. Then we'll have our refreshment and we'll depart.
Can we take one official one where the old exco stands in front and takes
okay.
Where's Charles?
Move closer, move closer. Let's move closer.
Take off your mask now.
We have, because Lola, okay, well, let's her in now. Oh yeah, Mutulu, come in. These are serious issues. Just do this first. Oh yeah, fast. Thank you. We appreciate it. Thank you. The first vice president will say a vote of thanks. Then we have our refreshments and we'll depart. Thank you so much. We'll surely hit the ground running. I will be calling on you. God bless you. Let's have our seat. Just under 2 minutes, we are out of it.
Mr. President and fellow ESCO members, distinguished founders here present, as well as every member of ACAM here present. Ordinarily, there should be excitement with being elected ESCO members of an association like this. However, in a circumstance where all 9 ESCO members have been elected unopposed, I believe that it gives us an opportunity to be very reflective. We want to assure you, and I speak on behalf of all of us, that we take this responsibility very seriously and that we are going to do everything possible to ensure that we do not disappoint you. You have turned up today in very large numbers. We understand that this is actually unprecedented, and therefore our pledge is that we are going to be providing unprecedented services to ACAMC. One thing we want to ask of you is, when we call on you, the next minute, tomorrow, the day after, the month after, the year after, we expect that you would answer us so that together we can take ACAMC forward and we can be able to fulfill all those election promises that we have made to you. Once again, I promise you on behalf of the EXCO that we will give our best. That is why we have volunteered to serve. We are here to serve, and we will serve ourselves out. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you so much. So it is time for refreshment. But before we go, maybe what? You don't want to say anything? No, let's say something now. New school. Let's say something. Oh yeah, Imoyo. Remove your distance and say something.
The president has commanded.
Say something.
Okay.
Say something.
Thank you once again. My name is Adeomi Oshilaja, the elected financial secretary. Thank you for coming, and expect more from my office in terms of our bookkeeping and also in terms of our financial reporting. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. My name is Fumilayo. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for supporting us. I think what I will ask for is, if there are things that you think that we should do or we can do better, please do not hesitate to let us know. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to say thank you for the support. Thank you for the turnout. Thank you for everything, and God bless you.
Once again, I want to declare that we will give our best. Thank you.
We will hit the ground running. God bless you.
Thank you again, and we appreciate your support.
Thanks, everyone, for your kind support. We'll do you good, and we'll all celebrate and win and succeed together. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Let the party begin.
Let the party begin. Thank you. Can't we close with national anthem? We don't want to close with national anthem. What's the idea? We don't want national anthem. Okay. Okay. Arise to compatriots, Nigeria's shall obey, to serve our father's land with love and strength and faith. The labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. To serve with heart and might, one nation bound in freedom, peace and unity. God bless you all. God bless you all. Thank you. Thank you.
This is Eddie Ademuso. I know you will be wondering. Yes, and this is my lady. And she's been very strong.
How's your health now?
Congratulations.
Well, no problem. We'll talk.
Yes, sir. Mr. President.